Well, hello everyone, my name is Nick, and today I am drawing some inspiration from my past as a broke college student, back when I was just getting my feet wet with indoor gardening, and I wanted to fill my home with greenery, but I simply could not afford to do so. So I had to get a little bit more creative, and I would grow plants out of the food that I was eating. So I would buy fruits from the grocery store, enjoy them, and then grow their seeds into plants that I would then grow in my home. And I am inspired as well from this guava that I have in my home. It smells beautiful, and I was just thinking, I don't think I ever tried growing guava. I should try growing guava, and I should document this process. So thus begins the lengthy process that will be turning this guava fruit right here into a lush plant. And I'm sure this is going to be a slippery slope. Of course, I'm going to want to try growing a bunch of fruit. So this is probably just the beginning, so buckle up. But anyway, let's turn this delicious guava into a plant. This is a super simple project. All you really need is a fruit and a lot of patience. So we have our guava here, and how do you actually cut a guava? I have no idea, but we are literally just going to butcher this right down the center here, and we have our gorgeous guava. You can see all of the seeds in here, and I'm just gonna start to scrape some of them away with the knife, and we're just gonna start to accumulate them here on our cutting board. We'll leave the pulp on for now, but we will get rid of it at some point. And as you can probably see, most of the seeds are going to be in this ring right here where you can see all the seeds are kind of forming in their little segments inside the guava here. And we're going to start off by just leaving it in this pile with the fruit flesh still attached to the seeds. And after we've extracted enough seeds for our liking, I'm going to pull a bowl of water over into frame, and we're simply going to add our little pulp and seed mixture into here, just because we're gonna then run it through our fingers, and it's just going to be a little bit easier to clean off the seeds from the fruit flesh. And unfortunately, the seeds do not float, so I am just kind of pulling them up to the side of the bowl here just to make it a little bit easier for me to get them as I clean them off. And this is, I think, where my method is going to then differ a little bit from what I've read online. So something you should know about me is I am terrible at following directions, which is probably my best and worst trait. And I did a little bit of research online before I started doing this project, and I read that you are supposed to either soak the seeds for 2 weeks in water, or you are supposed to boil them for 5 minutes in water. And like I said, I'm terrible at following directions, and I just don't like the sound of either of those. So I think I'm just going to do what I have always done every time I have grown fruit seeds in my home, which is the magical paper towel method. So for this paper towel method, of course, you're going to need a paper towel. This is just a paper towel that I have saturated with water and squeezed out completely so that is damp. And I am going to lay it down. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm also going to get this better into frame just so you can see. And we're just going to start taking our guava seeds and putting them on the paper towel. And we're going to put them on just one little section of our paper towel, preferably 1/2 at least, but I think I'm going to probably end up folding this into quarters so that it can fit well inside my Ziploc bag here, which is the other thing that you're going to need. So all you need for this project in the end is a fruit that has seeds, a paper towel, and a plastic bag. You can also use a Tupperware. I have used that plenty of times in the past, but I am just working with what I got today. And you may be wondering, how are we going to do this? How are we going to grow plants without any soil? How is this paper towel going to grow plants? So we're not going to grow these plants fully on this paper towel. This is just what we're going to use to get the seeds germinated. So we're going to get all of these seeds on here as we like. I'm still going to get a bunch more because, as you can see, there's a lot of seeds going on in here. There's a lot of seeds in guavas if you've ever eaten one before. Which you probably have if you are watching this video today. But we're going to put a lot of seeds on here because I can tell you from experience that not all of these are going to germinate. So I'd say hopefully half of these will germinate, but in likelihood probably a little bit less than half are going to germinate. But in the end, as long as we get like a plant, I would consider this a success. And of course, like I said, I'm like not following the directions, but if this doesn't work out, I don't think I would be posting this video in the end anyway. So it must work. But at this point, I should probably slow down or stop on fetching these seeds out of here, because I was gonna consider this a success if we got like 5 plants, but now I am really setting us up for success, it looks like, from like 50 seeds on here. I don't know exactly how many there are, but I'm going to fold this over top and just kind of close it in right there a little bit. And we are just going to simply slip it inside here carefully. Probably should have closed up these ends to avoid any seeds from spilling out, but I'm just going to try to be a little bit more careful. But wet paper towels have a way of being not the easiest to maneuver. And we're gonna close this in. I'm gonna leave a little bit of air, and I'm not gonna like suck the air out completely or push it out, but I'm not gonna blow it up either, just to give it like a little bit of a greenhouse effect. And this is it. We should get a marker to date it, just to give us an idea of when we potted this up. I believe today is March 25th. So let's mark it March 25th. And I'm going to put this in a not well lit spot. I'm gonna put it in a decently dim. I think I'm gonna put it on like a lower shelf that I have, like, or like below my bench in my bedroom or something like that. I think you could probably even put this in a drawer. That's like very dark though, but I think I've done it before. Anyway, I'm just gonna put this in a decently dark place, and we're gonna wait probably 2, perhaps 3 weeks before we go ahead and check back in. So I'm gonna eat the rest of this guava, and then I will see you then. All right, we are back with the guava seeds. So today is April 16th, I believe. Everyone just paid their taxes, and now it's time to check on these guava seeds. So it's been almost a month, you know, shy 9 days, but I feel like there's probably gonna be a good amount of growth in here. Let's take a look. It's obviously a little brown, which is fine because it was just, you know, food material in a paper towel. That kind of checks out. Oh my God. Okay, so you can see, let me zoom in. Sorry, the lighting's not that great, and that is a little too zoomed in. We got a lot of these going on. I thought like 50 to 40% of them would sprout, but honestly, this looks like more like 80 to 90% of them sprouted. So let's pick one up. Let me just zoom back out. Let's pick one up just to take a little closer look at it. So it's like a little attached there. I wonder if that's like the roots coming in. I don't really know. Let's pick up another one. But if my prior knowledge of doing this is correct, I feel like the leaves are gonna come out of the seed, and this is the roots. This is like, honestly, it's been a couple years since I did this. I should really be a little bit more, you know, knowledgeable on this topic. But like I said, we're learning together, I guess. I feel like it's time to plant these up. They are germinated, of course, that was our goal. Or does it look like a leaf is coming out there? I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. That's the point of this. So let's get a nursery planter. Honestly, we should probably get 2 because we have a lot of seeds, and these are going to probably grow a decent amount. So yeah, let's get 2 nursery planters. All right, let's move our seeds. I really did not feel like setting up my lights for this, and now I'm kind of regretting it. I feel like you can see enough. So the issue is, I can turn on this light, which I feel like helps a little bit, but there's the glare. You know what? This is fine. Let's just do this. Anyway, we're getting off topic. So I just got 3 of these because this is what I could find. And we're literally just going to take these, and this seems like the root right here. I'm gonna put them in the root first. Let me get like a spoon or a knife or something to just kind of like dig little holes and drop one in and kind of zhuzh the soil over top. We're just gonna do this for all of them, being ginger pulling them off, because some of these are really like that root is like sticking to the paper towel. And this is just a standard houseplant mix that I'm using. It's coconut coir based. I feel like that's good for seeds, but this is not like a particular seed starting mixture. I don't think you really need to go, oops, I pulled the seed off of that one, but maybe it'll still grow. But anything that's, you know, a little bit more moisture retentive is good. I think I'm also gonna put these inside a Ziploc bag, just like we did with the seeds here, but like put the whole planter inside a Ziploc bag. We'll get there. But that'll just kind of recreate like a greenhouse environment, and I think it'll just kind of encourage these to not only grow stronger, but faster. And I feel like I'm being a little too precarious with the way I'm placing these in here. I think honestly I could just be like throwing them on top and they'll start to root in, because these are still very, very young. These are just germinated seeds. Like I almost feel like because these are just germinated seeds that practically the whole thing could get submerged in the soil. But I'm gonna play it safe and leave the green bits coming out just a little bit. I don't think it's going to do any harm. All the ones that are left on here, I'm not gonna bother with. I'm going to just consider these garbage at this point. But we have these right here. I could spray them with a spray bottle. I'm probably just gonna take them over to the sink and do just like a really light rain shower on them, just not to displace most things, although a little bit will get displaced. So let me do that real quick. And now I'm just going to take a Ziploc bag, a large one. You can not use a bag. You can use like a terrarium or large glasses, like aquarium or something along those lines. Something that's going to keep the humidity up. But this is what I'm working with right now. So I'm just going to take them and put them inside. And I'm just going to close this, leaving a good amount of air in. In fact, I might just blow a little bit of air in there to, you know, keep it a little bit open. There we go. Okay. So now we've got this. Can't really get a better angle, but you get the idea. It's inside this plastic bag. I think I'm gonna go put it back where I have it. I have it sitting just underneath the bench in my bedroom, which is right up against a window, so it is getting some pretty good light. In fact, I'm probably gonna move it over closer to the light, because before I had them kind of hidden away from the light in a darker spot. But if I'm finding that to not be enough light, I will probably move them underneath one of my grow lights, but for now, I'm just gonna try that out. So let's check on these in a couple weeks. Let's check on the guavas. I don't know on the top of my head how long it's been. Of course, I will put on screen. Wow. They have all grown quite a bit. Let's pull up the center one here. This one looks like it has the least amount of plant in it. This one looks like it has the most amount of plant in it. So it looks like almost all the seeds continue to grow. They are about an inch tall right now. They all have their first set of leaves. I guess a couple of them you can see here are still emerging from the seed. I wonder if I can just like pull it off. I don't know if that's helpful or if it's not helpful. So I think I'm just gonna not continue to do that. But they all have their second, well, most of them have their second pair of leaves growing, which to my knowledge of growing plants in the past, that's when their leaves start to really take the character of what their mature leaves will look like. I mean, not completely, obviously, but they'll begin to. So these aren't what the guava leaves look like, but these, once they continue to mature more, obviously they just have been coming in over the last couple of days, they will continue to get larger, and hopefully in another month or so, we will have some nice looking little guava bushes in these plants. That's the goal. But back inside the bag these go, and we'll probably check back in another month or two. We are here for the final check-in for the guavas. It's been 3 months, and are they humongous? No, but it's been 3 months. So let's just wrap up this video already, and perhaps I will update you guys once again, and perhaps on all the other fruit that I'm growing in another 3 months or so, just to check in on things. But here's one of the guavas right here. You can see the leaves are just starting to get a little bit more mature. They're still going to get bigger, obviously. These are very, 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 very small seedlings. They're only 3 months old, grown inside my Philadelphia apartment. So you could imagine if this was grown in a greenhouse or in a more tropical environment, I'm sure these would probably be growing a little bit more to their fullest potential. Like I said, they're only going to continue to grow, but this is where we are at. This is June 15th, the day that I am filming these, and I know we started these in the middle, maybe like nearing the end of March, I forget exactly. So yeah, this has been about 3 months with our guavas, just from one single guava that I bought at the grocery store and continued to eat afterwards. I was able to grow all of these guava plants right here. Will they produce fruit for me? Technically, yes, they will produce fruit in a number of years, many years. I don't know exactly how many years it takes for a guava to fruit, but it's going to take a long time. The thing is, it's probably not going to taste very good. The plants that have the fruit that we eat are often made from grafting, which is a whole process. I don't have the means of performing that, so this is more just a way of growing for fun. Of course, like I said, these will grow fruit. They're just not going to taste exactly like the fruit that was produced to grow on the plants that I purchased this on, which makes no sense, I understand, but if you do a little bit more research on it, you will do some understanding. I am just not the one to ask. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This was a really fun project, and it's only encouraging me to do a bunch more fruits from seed, because it is such a fun thing and such a rewarding process, and definitely a great way to teach kids, if you have children, the fun of growing plants and how easy it is and how magical it is to just grow something out of what was presumably nothing before. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you don't already, you can follow me on Patreon to see even more houseplant content that's not available here on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at phillyfoliage. Subscribe to my channel, of course, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great time.